Hello, my name is Jekaterina and I'm happy to present you my album Mayflower, which comes out on April the 8th, 2022. The album consists of 7 compositions and 6 of them are my original compositions that I wrote in the past 2 years while I was doing my graduate studies. The recording was made in 4 different countries. We initially recorded the band in a studio in Boston, and then almost immediately I had to return back to Europe. I re-recorded the vocals in Latvia. Later, when the music was already finished, we discovered issues with some of the lyrics, so I had to re-record the bits when I was in China, and then we had to send it off for mastering in UK. It's a crazy way to make a record, and I think in many ways it is a reflection of the international reality in which many of the young musicians find themselves these days. All compositions are arranged for a piano trio, a voice and a trumpet, and the band that I managed to gather for this project is also quite eclectic. Pianist Moshe is from Israel, bass player Sejun is from South Korea, trumpeter Mike and Joey on drums both are American citizens, and myself, I'm from Latvia.
My first impression was Katya is a really good singer. The music was very well written, it was exciting, and I enjoyed kind of the journey of playing through it.
Because of the pandemic, I had to travel back and forth between Europe and the US to finish my school. It was a lot of frustration, and I guess I was creatively looking for things that could motivate me, inspire me, but also provide me with inner peace and guidance. The opening track, Wintersweet, is a composition by Kenny Wheeler. The lyrics for the song are written by Norma Winstone. And I really love this song because of how visual the lyrics are. You immediately see a very specific scenery. It was quite a challenge to work on the song and to make it organic and flowing while the melody has all of these intervals and jumps. The second track, If I Were, also released separately as a single, is a combination of syncopated bass lines and changing time signatures. And initially it was written using a poem, but later I had to rewrite my own lyrics. The song also has a music video that I made in Shanghai just before Shanghai went into a lockdown. And the song is also included in the Jazz in Latvia 2022 jazz compilation created by the Latvian Music Information Center.
My favorite piece is If I Were, because I really like the combination of the melody and the counterline against it. And in general, the whole vibe, it fits very well to Katya's voice and the band sound.
Wrong Lullaby was initially written based on the variations of the 12-tone row. It's a waltz-like composition with spoken text. I've used various monologues by William Shakespeare. It starts as an easy tune, but then becomes intense. Now, Serenade was written in this absolutely gorgeous 19th century manor house in UK, where I happened to spend my last Christmas. And it was such a gorgeous scenery every single morning when the sun was shining through the fields and the forests, and obviously the old type architecture was really giving a sense of magic. And
a funny story about making this album was that Katya, she said, hey, you know, I really like your lyrics, can you write something for my recital, which is next week? She asked me again maybe a day or 2 before the concert. I'm like, sorry, I didn't find the time. You know, and she's like, no worries, I'll just do it myself. Finally at the recording, a month later, I heard the lyrics that she wrote for Serenade. And I was like, wow, how can you write stuff like this on demand? It's like beautifully flowing, and I really like the lyrics that Katya writes. They're very sweet but complex, you know.
Lighthouse is the longest song on the album. I wanted to create at least one composition that had a lot of peace and a lot of space to it, and that wouldn't be so complex in terms of its musical material, but offered a nice flow and something that you can just listen to and be transported to a completely different reality.
I like the piece, the Lighthouse, I think I like this piece is also because of a ballad, and I usually like ballads. So, and it's a really nice piece, I think.
Al Dente is a short, wordless duo for voice and piano. I was inspired by the choros that I was listening at that time, some of the Brazilian rhythms and traditions. I wanted to create this really easy, romantic, lyrical, flowing line, only with a piano accompaniment. Spring Salutation is a song celebrating the beginning of the new season, the beginning of the spring, so I try to include a lot of splashy moments and kind of create a concept of a little chaos and of the constantly moving line to demonstrate how in nature things are so vibrant yet so unpredictable.